Quantic Media.
What's going on, everyone? This is Sarge, and what you are about to see is another interview for Battlefield 3. This is part 2 to my previous video, and it's with a professional team called Legacy eSports, and these guys have been around long before Battlefield 2 and have been around and involved with competitive gaming for a long time now, winning the TWL 6 vs 6 Infantry ladder for Bad Company 2, also placing first in World Online Gaming League, which they faced off against the infamous Rival Gaming. And so their team was crowned as one of the best teams on World Online Gaming, and Gabriel, aka Smack, was crowned as the best player for their team. So these guys are top A grade players, and it's very interesting to see what they have to say about Battlefield 3. Now, the discussion itself is going to be for about 20 minutes long. Evil Quits is going to be assisting the interview as well. So what I'll have is annotations above where we discuss certain topics about Battlefield 3, including getting to know a little bit more about Legacy eSports and where they come from. So you guys can click on the annotations and go to that particular discussion in the video. So just sit back, get some popcorn, relax, and enjoy the discussion.
You need to accept revives. How do you think about that? Because, you know, if someone revives, like you see a medic running around and he's reviving someone, you kill him, okay? He's dead, but how do you know that someone is not gonna revive after he died?
I think it's gonna be a pain in the ass, personally.
Yeah, that's why I'm afraid.
Is there like a delay too between? Is it like the same as BC2 when you revive, where it's just you shock them together and then you res somebody?
I think that would be the real solution to the whole problem. I think it's ridiculous that you can revive somebody from death on the run, on the sprint, as you're running over their body. I think if you made the revive process last, you know, maybe have a little timer on it, maybe like 4 or 5 seconds. Now some guy, you're not going to have the med train issue. You're not going to have all these problems that come with it. Because now, yeah, that guy might be able to be revived, but his buddy's going to have his butt in the air for 5 seconds while he's trying to revive that guy.
But I mean, I think it's like when you go to res somebody, you res them and then you run away, and they're still laying there, and then they get the option to say, yeah, I want to be res or not.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's got its problems too, because, you know, I played a game called Joint Operations. They had that same system, you know, in a match or whatever. If you knew some guy got revived, but he didn't want to get up right away because you were standing over his body, well, now you got to spend 5 minutes standing over this guy's body until he finally gets so impatient he'll stand up and get spawn killed, you know, or med killed.
I think they need to implement some sort of like double tap.
Well, I just think that if you go to res somebody, you res them, you can run away, and now they have the option to choose to be revived or not to be, and then afterwards...
Can they be revived even if the medic that revives them is dead? That might be a problem too.
I don't see. I think if you do the necessary procedure on the body, then it doesn't matter what happened to the guy who did it, because it's already been done.
But
afterwards,
you want to have some kind of animation before the actual revive.
Yeah,
or maybe
what
like
I'm
an
saying.
insignia
Have
above
like
their head.
have like a 5-second animation, so that this guy can't just run by a body real quick while you're reloading, and get the revive off. You know, I don't know if you guys have ever watched any match footage, you know, how much competition you've been involved in, but that's the strategy in competition is or when it was going on. I mean, I remember some huge med trains 4-on-4s in tournaments where they'd allow all 4 players to be medics. Legacy and Rival would get into these skirmishes, and everybody would be 3 feet away from each other with MG36s, and we'd all be running out of ammo because everybody was just running around reviving everyone.
Yeah.
You couldn't stop it. I mean, I can give you guys some stock footage of that, because I'm horrible on our matches, but I mean, it really took away from the game. And you can't blame Rival, you can't blame anybody doing it. You got to do what you got to do to win. But I mean, the game, it just ruined the game. I feel like, until, you know, some tournaments started putting class restrictions on, but even that was on the honor system. I really think the way to go is to make a more prolonged revive animation, something like that. I mean, heck, it's probably too late in development to put this in now, but that would even give sense to why you should drag bodies around corners and stuff. You know, why you should pull your buddy out of combat, because you don't want to sit over his body trying to revive him in the middle of a street. You want to pull him around a corner and then go to work on him.
What do you guys feel about the weapons in the game so
Like
far?
the recoil and stuff.
As long as the weapons aren't OP like the M60 was, the N94, and the Gustav
Yeah,
were
I
at
think
the
they
beginning
have
of the game.
They have the same guy doing the balance for BF3 that they did for BC2.
That scares me.
Yeah.
You know, there were some huge issues at launch. You know, especially I'm thinking of the Gustav. You know, it's a lot better now, but it's still a little ridiculous. But when that launch first came out, I don't know if you guys remember the PAX East tournament. I mean, that was ridiculous. Everybody in the tournament at that LAN was just running around with Gustavs. It looked like, you know, it looked like Quake or something. It was just stupid. And again, I don't blame the guys. You got to do what you got to do to win. The game was poorly balanced in terms of that. So we'll have to see. I haven't played. You know, I haven't played the beta, you know, got into any beta events or anything. I've never played the game so far, so it's hard to tell just from stock video footage what the balance is going to be like and what the weapons are going to be like. So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, they announced, I believe they announced Battle Recorder.
Yeah, so you can do post games.
But as far as competition with Battle Recorder,
I don't think they announced it. I think Zinto tweeted about it, but that's about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was worried about that. I mean, competition-wise, I think if we go and if Battlefield 3 implements where we start using first-person demos or first-person spectating or something of that sort, I think that would be better than just a third-person
I don't see that happening. I think however they coded their engine, it's just whatever they did with however they made their engine is for some reason not compatible with first-person specs or demo recording, unfortunately. Although, you know, I forget who it was that was doing it, but I do remember one match. I think it was Rival versus Next Level or something like that. And they were on Laguna Presa, and the guy went up on that big rock with the waterfall, and he just sat there with.
Oh yeah, because you couldn't really cast any other way.
Yeah, you couldn't. They still wanted to cast, and obviously there's no support for that in this game. But the guys went up with a waterfall with mortar binoculars.
Yeah,
and
should have tried to watch.
Yeah. Cast the match like that. So where there's a will, there's a way.
Apparently, from what people who have actually played the game said, it appeared to be random.
I don't understand why they're trying to redo that system. I think it works fine in BC2. The metting, like I said, needs to change, but I think the spawning on your squad thing is okay.
I froze. Someone get my screenshot quickly.
230 for 7.
Get the screenshot.
I got it.
Don't try, you'll be in the video. It's a random strategy.
Yeah, you know, a lot of teams, especially, you know, the top teams after the game's been out for a while, your team will start to get these pretty detailed strats and pretty detailed ways things have to go, and different players have different strengths. Some guys are better at different kits and stuff like that. And you're going to want to know who you got to spawn off of and, you know, stuff like that. Like sometimes you'll have strats where you'll have, you know, 1 or 2 guys spawn and then, you know, carry lightweight or something like that so they can run to a position quicker and then have everybody spawn on him, and that way they'll be at the point quicker. And all that kind of, you know, detail and extra planning that really makes it fun and varied is you know, you're not going to be there. But it's not that big of a deal.
And game modes, more than just Rush and Conquest.
Yeah, I noticed they said they were going to have team deathmatch and stuff like that because people wanted classic team deathmatch set up. I'm just kind of worried that about, you know, if they're going to have some starting tournaments off the bat that competitions are going to try to adopt these new, because I'm just thinking of PAX East, which had the team deathmatch, which it turns out for competition was not very,
Yeah, the
people didn't
squad
really
deathmatch
pick it up at all.
It wasn't very fun.
That was the first and last time that really got anything going.
That, but
Yeah,
did they
it was
change
way.
anything with quick scoping?
I didn't get a chance to test the bolt actions because they didn't have it available, so it was only semi-auto rifles, and so I don't know how the bolt actions are going to play out. What I did hear though is that from a tweet that Zinto made that they're going to be taking quick scoping out, so that's probably going to hinder a lot of aggressive sniping for bolt action rifles.
So what? It would be like an animation when you take your gun out or something to prevent.
No,
quick scoping, or?
I guess they will just make the animation to scope in longer.
No, it's either that or it's going to be a period of time before your shot lines up after you scope.
Oh, okay.
I'll be inaccurate for a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be inaccurate. You have to hold in for a little longer.
I mean, that's disappointing to hear for competition. We only started really using snipers in the 4s. We didn't use them much on the 8s. In the 4s, when there's limited classes, we started to use it. And some guys got really good. Smack was our scope, and he makes some pretty outrageous quick scopes. And obviously people have seen your videos and stuff like that. That aggressive sniper's gameplay is what works in competition. If it's going to be something where you're supposed to sit up on a hill, which I thought the developers were trying to discourage anyway. That's not going to work in a competition setting.
Yeah, it's not. I think people come to me and ask me, hey Enigma, what are you going to do if they take out quick scoping? And my answer was, you adjust. You figure out what the game allows you to do, and you work with what you got. I might not have to play sniper when I'm playing Battlefield 3. I might have to change to assault or whatever class that I feel more comfortable with.
Yeah, and you gotta emphasize that, especially with the players in competition, is you gotta be comfortable with every class, because
Exactly.
even if you're great with engineer and not good with assault, well, you gotta know what the enemy is capable of and what their kit can do and stuff like that. So you really gotta make sure you can play everything and be a very well-rounded player. A lot of the guys on this team, again, public's not the same as competition, but a lot of these guys on this team, have platinum on almost every single weapon in the game. And that's just a lot of hours put into figuring out all the weapons and all their capabilities and stuff like that. Then when you go into a match, you don't have to think twice about it. You know what weapon to take and how it's going to react and what you can get away with.
Yeah.
Speaking of class, I guess you all know that they are merging assault and medic.
Yep.
Yeah, to one class.
I don't really know how to feel about that.
Some people like
I
it.
think that's kind of a quirky way to. I think really at the core of the problem was this ridiculous instant revive system that they've always had since BF2. It just doesn't make sense to me. You're gonna get the med training just as much. It's just people not gonna have grenade launchers now, or large machine guns.
And I'm fine with that.
I think
I
the
like
real
one thing that
solution would be to increase the animation time for the revive, and you wouldn't need to go into these quirky, choices like that. I think it's an interesting way to go, but I don't know why they're doing it.
I think it fixes the fact that you don't have some assault guy sitting in a corner with an ammo box at his feet, just noob tubing away.
Yeah,
now it's like you have
that's
to
one
choose.
thing I'm happy about.
Yeah, I like the change personally.
Well, that's taking away the ammo box from the assault, but I don't understand combining assault with medic.
They're on the front lines. I like that support actually has the LMGs now, and the medic doesn't, so he's not just spraying all over the place and then reviving.
Well, I thought that was ridiculous that they combined medic and machine gun class. They're going back to the BF2 where they had a separate support class who carries ammo and a machine gun.
So, Legacy, where did you guys actually start? How did Legacy come and get on to the competitive scene?
Well, it's been kind of a long journey. Originally, we were called God, and we played the Nova Logic series of games. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's kind of a dead franchise now, but that was the Delta Force games, Joint Operations, stuff like that. Then we moved on to BF2, and I actually split off, and we kind of split into two groups. I led a team called Team Silver for the first season of Cal, and Towns, the founder, and his team remained as God for the first season. Then we merged back together and became Fusion. Then that kind of died out, and then he brought it back as Legacy eSports. Made a big name for themselves with COD2, as well as going CEVO Pro for Modern Warfare 1. We've since had a good TF2 team, good America's Army team, several Counter-Strike Source teams who've done pretty well. And now we're on to, BC2 is the original crew again, that's more experienced with the 8v8 large-style map-type gameplay.
So there are going to be a lot of teams in the future you guys are looking forward to. I know you guys said 20ID and Team Hot coming back. Are there any other teams as well you guys are excited about as far as scrimming against goes?
I just hope that there's a lot of people out there. Hawk, you're about to say something.
I was just gonna say, like 20ID, Dynamic, Next Level, Rival, Massive eSports. Those teams are gonna be coming back, but those are only a handful of really solid teams that played in BC2 that are going to Battlefield 3. I think there are going to be so many more teams. I'm not sure what the level's going to be because they're coming from different games, but I'm hoping the competition is just going to be raised to a new level in Battlefield 3.
Yeah, the more teams that are out there and playing and competing, the better and more tournaments there are. So it's actually, even though it's going to be more competition for us, it makes it more fun, and also there's a lot better, competition out there for us to participate in.
Yeah, there's gonna be more scrims to go out and get. I think it'll be pretty cool.
Rival was kind of like the team to beat in BC2, so we're definitely looking forward to getting some more shots in on them. And in BF2, at least with Season 1, I remember 20ID was the team to beat, so I'm hoping they'll come play BF3 and we can go at it as well. We played them a little bit in BC2, but I don't think they were taking it as seriously as they could have, due to their own misgivings about the game or whatever.
Right on. Are you guys looking forward to any other games other than Battlefield 3?
Well, we got Heroes of Stalingrad coming out, which is the Red Orchestra sequel, and Red Orchestra was a mod. I think it was based on the Unreal Engine, if I'm not mistaken, and that's coming out August 30th, I believe. It was planned to come out earlier. I'm not so sure how successful this game is going to be now due to the timing of the release, because now you're looking at a game that's going to be coming out 2 months when the supposed BF3 release date is. But that's a game that it's PC only. It's made by the mod teams, very into computer games. They're not worried about console or cross-platform releases. And it's supposed to be very tactical. They really thought out about, how to use cover effectively and stuff like that, and how to put your gun over cover without sticking your head out. And they've worked on those types of animations. It's a World War II, obviously Stalingrad is a World War II era game, which I know everybody's probably rolling their eyes, but I really think from a gameplay perspective, this could have the potential to be something special.
No, Hawkeyes, you said that you had a website that you were coming out with that's going to kind of join competitive gamers together?
Yeah, I put together Concept Battlefield because it was kind of like the site I always wanted to go to when competing. I know there's TWL, everyone goes to those forums. You can trash talk other teams only to a certain extent, but it's a place to go to for results for different matches and stuff. But Concept Battlefield, I wanted one place where you can check out all different results from all the various leagues, tournaments, and ladders from around Battlefield 3 that are going on. You can see who won, who lost. It's a place where you can see updated videos, people can apply for video of the week, or we'll have featured YouTubers and live streamers that people can just come check out of really good players that we think and we get to pick and put up there. And it's just a cool place to hang out. The forums are up there. There really aren't too many rules, so you can do what you want on it. So we're still updating the site, figuring out what's going to work, what's not going to work, getting some suggestions, and hopefully we'll have some teams sign up. Different teams can keep their rosters and sign up on there. Hopefully I'll be getting a few sponsors to provide prizes, and maybe I'll hold a tournament or something like that to get more activity on the site.
Yeah, if you're a team out there, go check out this website. I think this is a really good idea that Hawkeyes has come up with, because you're not going to have to go scouring around the internet, realize, oh wait, there's this tournament with this great prize, I didn't even hear about it, our team's not entered in time, which has happened. It's just one central hub. And like he says, he's not going to have too strict rules with the forums, so you kind of get the old Cal-style forums where anything goes, and that's a lot more fun when you can trash talk teams and stuff like that. and it's a central hub where everybody can see the achievements of the other teams. If they win something, they can go, oh, these guys just won this tournament over here, and then it kind of like keeps you clued in to what's going on with the competitive scene, which like we said, we've kind of had to kind of work with the TWL forums as pretty much a kind of a ghetto home place for that type of thing. I think it's great that Hawk is making this website, and I hope if there's other teams out there listening to that, they go check it out.
That's conceptbattlefield.com, by the way.
Gotta just say one thing, if you want to check out Legacy Esports, go over to www.theleg.net.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for tuning in on to part 2 for Battlefield 3 discussion with Legacy Esports. I want to thank Evil Kit, who's also a Bad Company 2 producer, for assisting with the interview, and Peter, aka Hawkeyes, for setting us up with his clan. And for those of you guys who aren't aware, the links that they were announcing are going to be in the description below, so you can click on any of them to go to the website. Remember, conceptbattlefield.com is going to be the hub for Battlefield 3 players who are interested in competitive scene. Go sign up on that website, check it out. Another person I want to announce that wasn't in the interview was Ravik, who's also a Bad Company 2 producer. He's one of the original AT4 video creators that popularized it on YouTube that you see now. You can check out his channel that I'll provide in the link here. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. Stay tuned in for more information for Battlefield, Bad Company 2, including Battlefield 3 when it comes out. Take care.